Hey guys, this is a video, obviously, on a 1960 Cree camper. This camper's 14 foot long. I have a title for it. It's located in Leland, Illinois. On this video, I'll go through everything that's been done and everything that I'm aware of that will need to be done. So this is going to be a reasonably long video. I've spent a lot of time on this thing, but I'm going to go around and we'll go through it inch by inch, foot by foot, and whatever by whatever. Here we go. 1960, need some glass. Again, 14 foot long. It's got broken glass here and here. Can be gotten at the, can be gotten at the glass store. It's got one piece here that's cracked. Now two pieces. I like to be brutally honest with people on this thing. The door opens and closes good, and I have a key for it. I do not have a key for this. However, this goes into the couch on the inside, so you can get inside and open that up and replace the lock. I just didn't want to mess with it. There was a cut here, and what I did here was I siliconed a back plate on this, so this can be filled with metal epoxy and then sanded and painted. The skin's in pretty good shape on here. Now in the back here, a couple of things. The lights were shot, so I had these chrome lights out of a 54. And they work well, so I just made them a little bit bigger and put them on. I have the original license plate bracket, but it is worn out, rusty. So I put this on just to seal it up. I wanted to make sure there was no water coming in. And finally, this window has a piece of plexiglass in it. That will need a piece of glass put in and to be sealed up. Right now, it's got clear silicone on it. So, like I said, full disclosure. Up on the roof, I took the vent out. I took out the vent for the furnace, which I removed, which was obsolete. And there was a hole on the other side for a vent that had already been deleted. And I repaired that, and it's got 3 coats of roofing sealant on it. The back section here is new. You can see the J channel is new. I replaced the tape inside, and the back section was redone on both. I peeled this siding up. I reframed up this thing from the ground all the way up to where it was bad at the curve. I reframed up the inside on this passenger side as far back as it was bad, and I used treated lumber, custom ripped down. So that won't be going anywhere. That is all screwed and glued. It's not just nailed together with some 6-penny nails. It's put in there. Now, I'll mention at this point that it will need new tires, and I can get the tires put on there. Or if you want to take it as is, I'll knock a couple $100 off. But either way, it's going to need new tires. So if a person's going to come get it, I'd like to make sure that the tires are good. I haven't done anything with this door here. It needs a new lock. It's closed. The windows all work that I can find except for the one on the other, on the back. That one will need to be worked on. All the screens will need to be replaced. So when I redid the wood on the inside, I went ahead and just put a few screws in the covers and so forth and so on. The cover, the awning for the front, comes up and down just fine. It needs to be cleaned up. It does have a crack in it, but that can be repaired. I haven't touched it because I didn't want to mess it up. This piece of aluminum on the top, apparently they drove into a tree limb and put a hole in it, and there was a big splotch of what looked like garbage. So I did a little bit of a custom plate on there for the Cree. I'm guessing whoever buys this is probably going to paint it, so I wanted to make it as good as possible. Now again, I said there's 3 coats on the roof. This strip edge up here in the front needs to be removed across here. You can see how it's globbed up. I wanted to make this thing watertight since I was putting new plywood on the inside. So that's a matter of removing those hex head screws. All of the wood is good. Taking the wire wheel, or you really could just do them one by one if you wanted to, and take the wire wheel and clean that edge off. Now what I do when I seal my roofs, I bring the roof sealant all the way over the top of the J channel, and I always suggest people do that. The door's got a few dings in it. It open closes fine. The step is solid. And I already mentioned the tires. I did wire new lights front to back, but the brakes are not hooked up. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that yourself. I personally don't like messing with them until I can get them home where they're going to be take a good look at them, and it's not something you want to mess with before you take it on a trip and not knowing. So that being said, I'll go ahead on inside and we'll start with what we did. Now, the door's in pretty good shape. It's got a few dents and dings. There was a furnace here, and there was a vent up there, and I took that all out and I widened this door, this wall up, and I put a little pantry in there. The floors were all solid on this camper, so there was no reason to do any work to any of the floors. All of the floors were solid. I just cleaned up all the junk and put new underlayment under it. So that's all ready to go. Now there's the pantry I put in. It's got a few shelves on the bottom. A little bit narrow to hang clothes, but you could always add more shelves if you wanted or do whatever. I never know what anybody wants, so I'll just leave it at that. This is the original cushions. They'll come with this bed, Ronald. It's going to be awesome. You'll see once it's redone. I'm just kidding. This section here in the back, this corner, which is the passenger side back, I reframed all of the sides from the window back. Everything from the front up here to the vent was that was all taken out. The vents were sealed, like I said, and I replaced it to rafters. I have pictures of all of that, and it's got 1-inch insulation in the roof. I do have these original handles. I didn't put them back on. They're in this cabinet here because I figured somebody's either going to paint this thing or try and match the stain. Everything in this back corner was rebuilt. I can pull this sweet cushion off of here. I do have the slide out for this too, for the bed, the other section, but this is all brand new. Now I screwed this down, so if you want to get to that door, you don't have to hodgepodge around. You can just take out the 6 or 8 screws, pull this out, you can get right in underneath of there. This light here, the wiring was shot, so what I did with this light, I replaced the wiring down and I just left it coiled up underneath of this bench, because my guess is nobody even used the light, and that would have to be ran over to and tied in to the junction box. This was all replaced. I went into the into the bathroom. There is a tank under here. The tank was, I thought, to be pretty much junk, so I took the ring off of it, and now this plywood is screwed in. So if you want to put the toilet back in and fumble around with the water and stuff, that's fine. All I did was screw this in. It's not glued. But if you're not going to do that, I would suggest taking this back out and putting glue underneath of it. I added a little shelf back here so it'd have some strength. There was no rot up here in the top, and this was only plywood rot across the back. This is stubbed up for either an outlet or a light, whichever you want, or neither. That's why I didn't put anything on it. And this is all new back here. The original wall. I just put some new subfloor in here for what it's worth. That vent goes up and out. The water line is still into the sink. All of this cabinetry, I would suggest making new doors for it. It's just old. It's gotten, humidity over the years. So there's that. Somebody put in this ice box, which is just it's just basically a plug-in refrigerator. When you plug it in, it works. It's untested. Got your toilet paper roll up there, no extra charge. This, again, there was no rot on this whatsoever. So I just took out the plywood and replaced the plywood. Throw these cushions out of the way. These cushions, I think, are made out of a tarp or a parachute or whatever they had. So, kind of cool. They come with it, so if you buy the camper, it's your problem. Now I rebuilt this inside. I rebuilt the inside of the wall. I added this, I recycled this cover out of the original doors that I made new doors for. So you can put a hinge on this if you want to. I just left it like it is because that's how I liked it, because all I ever used ours for was 2 liters a pop. This comes up for storage here. That's the original floor. It's not all rotted out. It does have the water tank untested. Now this is not, these are not the original countertops or the backsplash. This is just some of that MDF stuff that they put in, and they just re-put it back on. So you could do the same thing if you want. Has the gas light here. I haven't tested it. Does still have some facial water damage up in the front, but it's not leaking anywhere. You could go over that with veneer or take the time to take it all apart if you want to. It's all solid, so I left it. The fan won't be in your way here, but you can see all of this side was all solid. Now I replaced the wood from here over. All of this was all just facial wood. There was no rot whatsoever. Now I did leave a little bit of water damage here. If a person wants to repair that, I can show you how without taking that plywood all out and making it a big job. Can't remember if I vacuumed under here. I must have, because it's pretty clean. You can see there's no floor rot anywhere in here. There was no floor rot there. And that brings us all the way around. The only thing left is the ceiling. And I already touched base on it, but I'll touch it again. The vent was taken out. This vent was taken out. The roof is patched on top, and it is not leaking. And then I went over it. This is 3/16 finished plywood. It's finished on both sides. I don't know how well it will stain. I kind of built this camper to be painted because I've got, that wasn't the original wood, you can tell in the front. So it's kind of, the wood is all kind of all over the place. So, that's what it is. But I know I got a lot of people waiting for this video, and I know people will have questions, and I'm doing my best to answer them on this video so they don't have to ask more questions. But always willing to answer. This is located in Leland, Illinois. It's 4750. I have a title for it. Now, if you want to mess with your own tires, I'll let it go for $4,500. $4750 will include the 2 new tires put on it, and I can get that done at any time. It's ready to go. You can get your own flooring in here, your own paint, put your cabinet doors on. This thing is basically at a spot right now with some good cleaning. You could camp in it if you wanted to. So that's what I got. I hope this finds you well. God bless you, one and all.